I think it's time we call the meeting to order. Welcome this evening to the Murray City Council. We want to take a moment and ask you to silence your cell phones, and in case you haven't done that already. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I've asked Bianchi Sharonfont to lead us in that. Please come forward, Bianchi. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I think we'll take this moment here and ask Sherry Van Bibber to introduce each of her young folks here from the chamber with youth government. Come up here, Sherry.
We can't hear you, Sherry, unless you're at a mic.
You can hear me anywhere. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. These are some of our fabulous Murray Youth Chamber, and we call it our Murray Youth Excel Club. And they're our youth government, our youth chamber. They're involved in business, service, and the community. So will you all introduce yourself and tell what school you go to?
I'm Jenny Pacheco, and I go to Ames.
Jenny goes to Ames.
I'm Bianca Sharon Font, and I go to AISU. I'm Rebecca Heaton, and I go to Murray High School.
I'm Jacob Woolley, and I go to Murray High School.
I'm Sarah Rasmussen, and I go to Murray.
I'm Mitch Klinger, and I go to Hillcrest Junior.
Wonderful. We have about 25 students that are involved with us, and they range from Skyline High to Bingham High. So it's not just Murray Youth. We have a very engaged group of youth, and Becca was going to we wanted to tell you what, we just had a presentation that we just wanted to give to our police department.
Sherry?
Yes.
Let's do that during the
sure.
council citizen comment period, okay?
Oh, sure. I thought that's what we were.
Yeah.
Wait, I felt honored you let us do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. We'll get to it, though. Yeah, okay. I'd like to ask for an approval of the minutes.
I'll move we approve the council meeting minutes for September 6, 2016.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We'll now come to the special recognition portion of our meeting. We will begin with the Murray City Council Employee of the Month recognition of Jason Lundberg, our golf course irrigation specialist, and Brett Hales and Doug Hill. Will you be handling that, please?
Thanks, Dave. We appreciate it. Jason, will you come on up? This is Jason Lundberg. Jason is with, come on up, Jason. Jason's with our golf course, and as a council, we started a program for Employee of the Month quite a few years ago, and we just wanted to show appreciation for our employees, and each department head will pick an employee each month, and so we are excited that the golf course, everyone loves the golf course. Good. And you look happy even though you work for Dave Cruz. That's cool. That's way cool. I've never seen a happy employee from him. So anyway, I'm just giving you a hard time. Look at you. He's looking. Anyway, Dave, we love you. Okay, so in here we have a $50 gift card for you.
Thank you.
And our appreciation, and just the council just really appreciates all that you do for the city. And you've been here 7?
Full-time 13 and 20.
Yeah, 20 total.
Yeah.
20, you're too young. He looks like he's been here 30. But anyway, congratulations.
Thank you.
We appreciate it from the council. Thank you.
So I just want to take a minute here and embarrass Jason. By the way, Jason started working for the city when he was 8 years old. Jason is just one of those employees that you love to be around. He's always happy, very dedicated to the golf course. I don't know about the rest of you, but I have a hard time keeping my sprinkler system running on a 0.5 acre lot, right? Or a 0.20 acre lot. So Jason is responsible for the whole entire irrigation system at the golf course, which is 150 acres. And you can imagine with how hot it has been this past summer, how hard he had to work to keep the golf course green. But yeah, the golf course is in the best condition that I've ever seen it in the 25 years that I've worked for Murray City. And as a tribute to Jason, as well as to Dave and Corey, who are sitting there in the back. And so appreciate all the work that Jason does. Dave wrote that Jason is the kind of individual that volunteers to come down to the golf course in the evenings on his own just to make sure everything's working. So he really never is off work. Something else about Jason, besides being a great worker, he's also a great golfer. I don't know that many people know this about Jason, but a few years ago on the Golf Channel, there was a show called Big Break, and they would invite people around the United States and really throughout the world to come and be on that show. And Jason was one of the semifinalists that was selected to be on the show, made a trip down to Arizona to make the finals, and they didn't go with him. I don't know why. It would have been a great story, a golf course superintendent who is a good golfer. But he is a good golfer, very good golfer. And if you go down and look in the men's league, you can always see Jason's name. He's always winning money. So with that, I join with me in congratulating Jason as the Employee of the Month. And then Jason would like to give you an opportunity to say anything that's on your mind, and certainly to introduce your family in the back here.
All right. My beautiful wife's back here, and my daughter, Gabby. My wife's name's Roxanne, sorry. And then Luke's hiding behind the pole, my twin. I'm not very good at public speaking, which is probably why I work on a golf course, but I'd like to thank the council and the mayor for all they've done the last few years. It's been refreshing and nice, and I appreciate all that you guys have done. And Dave and Corey, I've been with both of them for 20 years, and they both taught me everything I know at the golf course, so I appreciate, and I consider them both friends more than coworkers, so I really appreciate that. We play a lot of golf together. And Doug said I'm always happy, but I think when I get home from work, my wife and kids can sometimes say that's not true. So anyways, I appreciate all of them putting up with everything and helping me out. So thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, thank you very much. We'll now move on to our Murray. This is a special night because we get to move on to the Murray City 32nd Annual Beautification Awards Program for 2016, and we're going to have Darren Bird conduct.
It's a pleasure every year to come and present these awards. We had several dozen nominees this year representing all the districts, and I'm going to, as we ask each individual to come up or business to come up, I'd like to call on our respective member of the Shade Tree and Beautification Commission to give that award for the district and to be able to have congratulations from Mayor Iyer. So let's start with District 1, if we could. Judith Payne.
The winner from District 1 is the Lundberg residents. Do you know if they're here? The Lundbergs?
He's hunting already, so.
I can't believe it. He chose hunting over this. lives at 1212 Willow Run Drive. Well, we'll make sure that he gets this. We sure appreciate the beautiful yard he has and the time and effort that the family, I'm sure, puts into it. It's beautiful and it changes an entire neighborhood. We appreciate it.
Since my day job is with the Department of Natural Resources, I'm fine with anyone who's hunting during this time. I'll give District 2. District 2, if I pronounce this right, is the Grandinetti residence on Bryanston Cove. Are they here this evening? Again, we'll get this to them. District 3, and you'll notice we have the pictures up coming up as these are announced. We hope. We're trying to. They will eventually. Janelle Nelson will have District 3.
Darren and Angie, want to come on up and accept your award? These guys always make our neighborhood look beautiful. They have won this before, and there's good reason why. Their flowers just know what to do. She has a green thumb, and she just makes everything look beautiful. And not only is it in the front yard, but it just goes all in the backyard, too. So this is for them. Yay.
That's pretty.
Our beloved Jim Hendrickson can't be with us this evening, but let me announce for District 4, the Collins residence on Ragsdale Drive. The Collins here this evening?
Oh, that's great. Wow, look at that.
Congratulations. Jan Evans to announce District 5.
District 5 was absolutely gorgeous. There were so many beautiful homes, and it's just one of the joys of living in Murray. We are an outstanding city. The winners of District 5 are the Parsons residents, and they have been longtime residents of Murray and great advocates of our city, and so we'll make sure they get that. Thank you.
We have a Xeriscape Award for the Sharp residents on West Creek Drive. Are the Sharps here this evening? We did a special recognition this year to a new building in town that they've done a wonderful job in landscaping initially, and that's the new Murray School District offices. Do we have anyone from the district here this evening? Superintendent's here.
Thank you. This is such an honor.
Thank you.
Superintendent, do you want to share something with us?
Wasn't prepared, but
all right.
I would just, say thank you for this award and recognition. It was definitely unexpected. Murray is such a great place to be and such a beautiful place. And there are parts of Murray that maybe need a little bit of an upgrade, and we were pleased that we were able to get enough property that we were able to locate our new facilities there and maybe add to the beauty of the city. So thank you very much for this recognition.
Thank you, Stephen.
For multifamily residents, we have the Vinegate Apartments. Do we have anyone here from the Vinegate Apartments? Great. Congratulations. Okay. Well, and there's... For business, this is a second-time winner in the last few years. We have Ingenuity Automotive. Give that.
That's nice.
And this is one we kind of call our grand prize winner. This is the Mayor's Award. So this was the highest vote getter of all of the residential residences in the city, and that's the Tuckett residence on Germania Avenue.
Oh.
For the Tuckett Center.
Yeah.
This is beautiful, again, all the way around the back, and this house borders the parkway and is just beautiful.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to serve the city.
Thank you, Darren.
Congratulations.
Well done. Thank you, Mayor. Okay, appreciate that. Thank you, Darren, for handling that. Okay, we're now at that portion of our council meeting where we have citizen comments. Now, if you're here for one of the, well, there is no public hearing, so if you have a comment, you'll be allowed 3 minutes to make those comments. Sherry, I'm going to start with you. You wanted to say a few things and maybe have your young people speak. Okay. Just state your name and where you live. Okay.
Okay. I'm Rebecca Heaton, and I live in Murray on Avalon Drive. And to introduce what we are the Murray Youth Excel Club. What the Excel Club is we're kind of like the high school version of the Exchange Club. We work under their guidance, and our platform is to promote Americanism, where we encourage education and respect for the flag, and Freedom Shrines, we promote volunteerism and service for our community. And we advocate for the prevention of child abuse and domestic violence. One of our most noticeable things we do for that is we tie the flags out in front of City Hall for April to promote awareness, and there is a pinwheel for every child that has the reported cases all the reported cases in Murray, there is a pinwheel for. And we also do the Haunted Trail in October, and all the funds we raise from that go to the prevention of child abuse. And last year we made $8,000? About $8,000 for the prevention of child abuse. And we just like to get together and do service. And we wanted to thank our police officers for all they have done for us, considering the criticism of them that has been going on across the nation, and we wanted them to know that we appreciate them. And so just like a few years ago when our rivers were flooding and we gave the firefighters, when they sandbagged the river, we gave them heat packs. We wanted to do the same for you, so we'd like to thank you for taking the heat off of us.
So we also wanted to, we have a set for city council members and everyone in the office. Thank you all for taking the heat off of us. And we said you just have to microwave for 1 minute or taser for 1 minute. So whatever works for you. And I just wanted to share, our youth, we added up the hours that our youth put out last year, and we counted over, they work all summer long for the Red Cross, doing all the kittings for their blood drives. They do the Breeder Project downtown. They work all across this state. And they did over 1,500 hours of service last year. And so we actually were asked to come back to Houston this past summer and explain why our youth work 12 months out of the year when most kids do service and do projects 9 months out of the year. So they've stood out in a national way, and they definitely stand out. They're just amazing kids, and just like the cream always floats to the top, these guys are the cream of the crop. So anyway, we just thank them for their hours, and they keep me out of trouble. So thank you all for what you do.
Thank you for what you do, Sherry. Thank you. Any comments from the council? for the children?
Just think it's awesome. I've been to some of the meetings, and I can't believe the time that they put in. And it's cool that we're represented by several schools. Because when I went to the meeting, I was under the assumption it was Murray schools, but it's several schools, and it's awesome. They're great, and Sherry puts in probably about 1,500 hours herself, so she puts in a lot of hours, and she's paid big time, so it's worth it for her, but she's not paid anything. But anyway, we really appreciate you guys. You're great examples for our city, so thank you.
Thank you. You make us so proud. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for all you do.
Learn from all of you guys.
Yeah, I couldn't have.
We're gonna leave. That's like 300 pounds of rice. So we know that Craig is buff, and so we'll leave it for the police department.
I love it.
Thank you. Any other comments from the council?
Just want to add my thanks to all of you as well. I couldn't say it any better than Brett did, so thank you.
Thank you. We really are encouraged and heartened by the work that you young people do, and we really appreciate you. Can't say enough good things about you. So thank you. And thanks to the sponsors here, Sherry and Lance, and we appreciate all that you do. Okay. Do we have any other citizen comments this evening? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to the next items on our agenda. We have nothing on consent, nothing public hearings, and we're not having any unfinished business, so we'll move right to new business. Item 10.1, consider a resolution approving an interlocal cooperation agreement between Murray City and the Redevelopment Agency of Murray City to buy, sell, and exchange real property in the Central Business District. Tim Tingey presenting.
Just for the understanding of the public, the redevelopment agency is an entity that was created, it's created by the state, and the purpose of that entity is to facilitate redevelopment in specific areas. One of the areas that they focus on is this downtown area where we're sitting right now. It's called the Central Business District area. And their purpose is to facilitate the redevelopment and economic development opportunities. Well, a few years ago, the cities acquired some land in this area with bond proceeds, and there were specific requirements of that those lands are to be used for public facilities, and if not, then there could be an opportunity for a value-for-value exchange to get those properties into the hands of the redevelopment agency to facilitate redevelopment. This resolution and agreement does that. It includes exchanges of property, value for value, between the redevelopment agency on properties that they own and then properties that the city owns, and it facilitates that exchange to allow for these properties that the redevelopment agency will own if you approve this resolution tonight, to allow them to work towards economic development and redevelopment of them. So anyway, that's what we're recommending. We're recommending approval of the resolution. We think it's important for future redevelopment possibilities in this area. Happy to answer any questions.
No questions from the council? Okay. Seeing none, we'll entertain a motion for item 10.1.
I would move approval of the resolution approving the interlocal cooperative agreement between Murray City and the Redevelopment Agency of Murray to buy, sell, and exchange real property in the Central Business District.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Jennifer?
Aye.
Mr. Bass?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. We'll now move to item 10.2, consider a resolution approving an interlocal cooperation agreement between the city and the Utah Department of Transportation for transportation alternative program funds to construct and maintain a Jordan Canal trail from 6400 South to Fontana Blue Drive. Doug?
One of the projects that the City Council funded in our budget this year was a trail along the Salt Lake City Canal between Fontaine Blue and Wheeler Farm. The city wrote a grant to UDOT to help fund this project. We received $100,000 to go towards the section between 6400 South and Fontaine Blue, and with a promise that next year we will receive an additional $100,000 to go between Wheeler Farm and 6400 South. So the agreement that is in front of you tonight would be the cooperative agreement with UDOT, which would allow us to accept those monies and then put it towards construction of that trail. Just an update, we are currently working, the attorney's office and our office is working with with Salt Lake City Public Utilities to formalize an agreement that will allow us to begin work on this trail. So we're in the negotiating stages with Salt Lake City, their attorneys and our attorneys, to see if we can agree upon what type of trail will be constructed there and any conditions that may go along with the construction of that trail. So we hope to have that finalized here and before you in the next, I would say, the next couple of months.
Thank you, Doug. Do we have any questions for Doug? Any comments?
Comment, just that I am so excited to get this going. My husband Charles and I walk this often, and it will be just a wonderful addition to that area of our city and make it more walkable, and it's just a lovely area. So thanks for all you've done, Doug, to make this happen. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
You should go ahead and roll that into a motion, Diane.
Okay. And I'll make a motion. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution approving an interlocal cooperative agreement between the city and Utah Department of Transportation for Transportation Alternative Program, TAP. Funds to construct and maintain a Jordan Canal Trail from 6400 South to Fontaine Blue Drive.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, motion passes. We'll now move on to item 10.3. Consider an ordinance enacting Chapter 3.52 of the Murray City Municipal Code relating to no-fault power department claims. Frank will be presenting.
Yes, thank you. And maybe Bruce Turner's here from the Power Department. He can help me out if I don't get this right. But over the years, when we have outages or disruption of power, we have citizens call. We've taken the position the city is not liable for anything that results from that disruption of power. We feel that we have immunity, actually, in these kinds of cases. However, it is probably good public relations to work with the citizens at times. It does, depending on the kind of burden it places on our citizens. So our power department, over the years, has taken the position that, okay, we're going to be a good service power department despite the fact that we're not liable. We're going to see if we can provide some assistance. That was never really formalized, so we had decided, in working with the Power Department administration and Bruce and Blaine and Greg, that we would formalize this, and we call it a no-fault fund. And so citizens, when there is a power outage or a disruption and something happens that maybe to an appliance or to their computer, that we would take a look at it and be able to offer some assistance up to a maximum of $5,000. Now, we would do that under the condition, of course, that we're not admitting any liability. We want to make sure there's no double coverage, that maybe they have insurance coverage and we're not going to duplicate that payment. And then other factors that we've outlined in this ordinance, such as whether it was intentional or that was some gross negligence involved. This helps codify, the word codify, or put it in our book so that people can see it. And I think that with these kinds of limitations and conditions, I think it makes it easier for those who administer this I think Bruce is involved and Greg to then work with our citizens and provide them assistance. So I think this is really a benefit and good public relations for our power department and demonstrates how they appreciate our customers and our users. So that's what this is, the formalized and no-fault fund. We do have a similar one for the golf fund, as you know, and I'll be talking about the water sewer in a minute as well. I don't know if you have any questions for Bruce or I.
Do you have anything to add, Bruce? No. Okay. Any questions for Frank or Bruce? Any comments? Okay, seeing or hearing none, we'll entertain a motion on 10.3.
I'll move that we approve an ordinance enacting Chapter 3.52 of the Murray City Municipal Code relating to no-fault power department claims.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded.
Mr. Kemp?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
Mr. Jablonski?
Aye. Okay, moving on. Item 10.4, consider an ordinance enacting Chapter 3.54 of the Murray City Municipal Code relating to no-fault water and sewer claims. I take it you'll handle this too, Frank?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a similar program. This one has been going on for some time, and we had to formalize it in a policy. And it has come into play many times due to a break in a water line and the sewer lines. And again, we take the position that the city is not liable. And we are immune in certain cases. However, again, for the same reasons, the public relations as a benefit to the citizens. So the damages, we do have adjusters go out and we then can look to this fund to make payments for damages as a result of water sewer lines under certain conditions and under maximum amounts. And like I said, we have been doing this for quite some time and has found that this has been really good in terms of working with our citizens on these kinds of incidences. I guess I should mention it is subject to appropriation of funds, annual appropriation of funds. So, I mean, if the council chooses not to fund a program like this, and it doesn't exist.
Any questions or observations? I have one, Frank. What's the average incident cost on average?
Well, most of them do not exceed that maximum amount. And I've seen them $2,000 or $3,000, and it's generally what happens: carpeting, and we'll send Utah Disaster Cleanup or one of the cleanup companies to go in and take care of the damages. So I thought $5,000 was a good amount because usually most of the claims fall within that area.
Okay, thank you, Frank. All right, take a motion on this matter.
I think you have another question.
Oh,
Yeah,
we do?
sure.
I apologize.
You said subject to appropriation. How much money are we actually talking about for each fund?
Oh, it's $5,000 for each fund.
For each incident, we're putting just $5,000?
Oh, for each.
Money has to be set aside to cover.
I'm sorry,
right?
$5,000 for each incident. You know what? I have to look to Justin for that.
This is being, I was curious about that also.
That's right, Jim.
I believe this is being funded through a retained risk fund. So,
that's right.
Even though they're enterprise funds.
but the enterprise funds help pay into the retained risk fund to fund it.
That's right. All of our claims, all of them, including the adjustment of the claims, is in our risk fund. That's how we, all of our insurance, liability insurance, all goes through our risk fund. So,
thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Thank you, Councilman Brass. Any other observations or questions? Okay. Now I'll go to the council for a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the ordinance enacting Chapter 3.4 of the Murray City Municipal Code relating to no-fault water and sewer claims.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 Aye. We now have a report from the mayor.
Okay. I just have a few items that I'd like to bring to your attention and also to the attention of our residents here as well. Last Thursday evening, I'm sure many of you attended the Public Power Day over in the park. I think it was one of the most highly attended ones that I've ever been to. Jim, you've probably been to dozens of them or something or more, but I've only really been to the last 3 or 4 of them. I think there was over 750 people that attended Public Power Day, and they do all kinds of demonstrations over there that are just fascinating, not only for the residents, but especially for the youth. And they show the youth how all the equipment works, and then Blaine has an opportunity to stand up at the microphone and tell hundreds of people about the power department, where we get our power from, the different resources, and the advantages of having a power department within our own city. And it was just so well received. Besides having the best power department in the entire state, we also serve the best hot dogs in the entire state. These hot dogs are award-winning hot dogs, and so it's really great to come out. They also give a good number. I don't know, I guess Bruce might have left. I'm not sure the number of they have a contest that's called Power Bucks, and you put your little ticket in there, and then you're awarded either $50 or $100 or whatever it is toward your power bill. And boy, there were so many people there that won those awards, and they were really thrilled to be able to receive that. I'm sure that's why they were able to stay there that long and everything. But they had a great night, and the power department receives a great deal of acknowledgement for the effort that they put into that. And then also, with regards to our water, Danny Astle and Joe Goodman from our water department entered a sample of Murray's water into the annual contest for the State Water Users Conference in St. George. And of course, Murray won the best groundwater taste for 2016. So I just want to let you know, we all know what great water we have here in Murray. And I don't get out very much, but this last a couple of weeks I traveled to a couple of other states, and man, did I notice the difference in the taste of the water in different places that I went to. And so I think sometimes we kind of take it for granted here in Murray what wonderful water resources we have here. Just a couple of other items real briefly. The one I don't think you're aware of because I'd never heard of it before, but there's one of our elementary schools, and it's the only elementary school in the entire area, not just in our district, but in our entire area, that does a new program called Watch Dogs. And DOG stands for Dads of Great Students. And what they do is they invite all the dads to come one night, one evening, and have a pizza. They have some really great pizza there, and they have a pizza dinner with their students. And then the students, after they have dinner, go into the library for an activity for about 30 minutes or so. And then the fathers go into the auditorium, and they ask me to speak on the role that fathers play in their children's education. And so we had about 50 dads out that night, and I was able to speak to them about the influence that the fathers can have on their children's education. And following that, they asked each of the dads to come up and sign in which day of the school year, they would be willing to take a day off of work or PTO day, is that a paid PTO day, or a vacation day, and come in and be with the students for an entire day, and not just shadow their own student, but to go throughout the school. And it was so well received. Every one of the fathers came forward and put down a day that they would come to the school and work in the school and stuff. And so it was really a great program. And obviously the intent is, it was sponsored by the PTA, and the intent was to get the fathers involved in the education process as much as the mothers were involved and stuff. And so I would like to see a lot of our other elementary schools adopt that. It was really a great program. And then lastly, I'd just like to mention that last week was a typical week where in the mayor's office we received 3 letters from our residents, 2 of them regarding the personnel that work over at the Parks Department and how well they were treated and everything, and the other one was from a police department, an incident they had and how well the police handled that incident. And we get that along with our EMTs and fire department. Every single week from the mayor's office, we receive letters from our residents or emails or phone calls telling us how great our different departments are and our personnel. And so I just thought I would recognize each of those departments. And it's just a pleasure to work here in Murray. This is the little thing I'll say. This last week, we were able to attend the League of Cities and Towns. And without exception, there wasn't a day that went by that somebody didn't come up and say what a quality city Murray was and how well run Murray has been over the last several decades. It's just been I think Murray stands out as a real example to how a city should run and how well it should run. And I was really proud to be able to represent that a little bit there at the conference, and just wanted to recognize our city for all that it does. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Any questions of the mayor? Okay, no questions or observations. We'll stand adjourned.